If I can, just to say before we actually begin landing procedures, I'd like to vent the bulkhead from our cargo bay.
Oh, okay. While making entry, so that way it burns up.
You know, it would look cool if we did that. Sure.
Sure. So
yeah,
yes.
I'm happy to leave a large hunk of metal impacting into the surface of this planet we are totally unfamiliar with.
Actually, it would completely break up. As a matter of fact, you hitting the atmosphere, dumping it, and then making your landing, it would look like the sky like lit up with fireworks as you were making your landfall.
I planned that. That was intentional.
Could be beneficial.
So yes, you land.
They will think of us as gods.
Yes, you make landfall just outside a very primitive looking city. There's abundant life on this planet, both flora and fauna. As for sentient life, you're picking up just very few like human-sized life forms as you're making your landfall, and then as you complete your landing procedures and you're sitting there and you're getting ready to disembark the ship and whatnot, you see from the city, you see a group of people walking towards the ship, and they're carrying baskets and looks like baskets of some sort of like fruit or vegetables and things like that, and they're like holding it up in front of them as they're walking, like as in presentation.
As I said, gentlemen, gods.
Well, let's play it slow. We don't want to rush into anything. We know that Captain Trist ran into some sort of problem when she was down here, so...
That looks to be fresh fruits and vegetables.
And as you say that, Calvin just takes off towards the first basket he sees and scoops up the fruit and just starts eating it.
Okay. Yes, the welcoming committee is 5 people. They are actually very, very scantily clad, very loose-fitting clothing. They are very physically fit because they're holding these like big baskets full of fruits, and they're not straining one bit. They're just kind of holding it out there as you're like picking like the best ones out, and they're smiling and grinning, and they seem to be very, very pleased that you're here. And one of them, one of the older ones, steps forward. He's not old. He's certainly not like an old man. But he's definitely older than the rest of them. He steps forward and he says, "My name is Lorne. You are most welcome. We were told that you were coming. The teacher informed us that you were coming. Friends."
Hi, Lorne.
I'm Calvin. And he like shakes his hand, overly excited.
Yep, that's Calvin. I'm Captain Pyke.
Captain Calvin.
I am known as Ram.
Ram. Is the doctor with you, or is he staying on the ship?
I'd say he'd come with us.
Yeah, the
doctor came with us. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a curiosity.
The doctor's been on the planet before, yes?
Yes, he has.
So the doctor may be tentative at first.
So yeah, I mean, he's if you want him out there, he'll go. Otherwise, he'll stay on the ship. It's up to you guys what you want.
I think you should come with us.
Okay. So yes, he's like bringing up the rear, and then you see Lauren look up, and he goes, "Oh, you've returned. How fortunate."
How does the doctor react?
He's just kind of, he nods and he says, "Yes, I have returned," and he seems a little confused. And then he kind of said, as he's standing next to Pyke, he says, "Yeah, they were. This is the way they acted when we landed too."
All right. Well, we'll be careful.
Calvin looks right at Pyke. We haven't been here before, right?
No, we haven't. Nope.
Okay.
That is correct, Calvin. We have not visited this location before.
Okay. What should we visit first?
So, Lorne, you said the teacher told you we were coming?
Yes.
Who is this teacher?
Oh, he is our leader. He provides for us
In what way?
in all ways.
Is he the nice guy that talked to me and asked us to come down here?
Did he speak in your head?
Yeah.
Then yes.
All right, well,
Can we meet him?
He's very keen on meeting you.
yes, so take us to your teacher.
That all in due time. You please come and rest. We have food. We have relaxing baths. We will. We are at your command.
Pyke, you could use a bath. You still have
I
a
agree.
little stuff here.
I concur with Calvin.
Over
You
here.
should bathe.
I hate when you guys gang up on me.
It is for our own good.
A little, maybe some new clothes.
We can certainly provide.
Yes.
All right, well, when in Rome.
I think you should. Yes, you should dress Pyke in one of your outfits.
No, let's not do that.
I concur with Pyke.
So you are led to an inn called Red Off, and it is rather rustic. The welcoming committee, everybody smiles. Red Off is more of a even-keeled kind of guy, and he welcomes you to his place and says that any of his amenities are, you are welcome to any of them. He has the, rejuvenative baths. There is ample, exercise, recreation, any form of recreation you can think of, we've got it.
Okay.
Do you have a library?
What is that?
It's a place with books.
Oh, books. I don't know what you mean.
They have paper with pictures and words on them bound together.
Paper. We have different uses for the paper.
Do your people fish?
What other uses?
Mostly for grooming.
Calvin looks right at Pyke, really confused. What?
Perhaps I can have one of the ladies show you.
Pyke just shrugs. I don't know, man. I guess we're in for an experience.
Okay.
What are the purpose of these books? And then he stops.
Books.
And then he shakes his head and says, "Would you like a bath?"
Yes. We would.
Very well. Ding, ding, ding. Rings his bell, and 3 servants, hostesses come out and say, come this way. The doctor says, "No, I would. I do not wish for a bath. Can I just go to my room?"
You should have a bath. You haven't had a bath in 4 months.
I suppose. Okay. I guess I can't refuse.
Yeah, so we'll just play along.
Okay. So you are. The baths are actually quite rejuvenative.
Ram declines the bath
Okay.
as he did clean himself earlier in the day, and will proceed to just kind of walk around this place. Ram's a little lost without technology to comfort him, so he's a little out of place.
Okay. All right. Like I said, the baths are quite rejuvenative. If you are minus any hit points, they are now completely healed. Ram, as you're walking around and you're observing, yes, this is it's seemingly rustic, but after a while, you get the feeling that there is technology here, but it's just very, very expertly masked. You see that as you're walking, you walk through the whole settlement. It's not that big. It's probably, a mile or 2 in diameter, and that's it. this whole settlement.
And how many townspeople do there appear to be?
You've only seen about a dozen. And as a matter of fact, as you're walking, a gentleman comes up to you, kind of runs up to you, and he says, "Are you lost? Do you need help? I can assist."
Tell me everything you can about your settlement.
And he starts to walk around, and he says, the first thing you pick up is they don't have a name for their settlement. They just call it our home. And that the teacher provides everything that they need. And as you're walking around, you're noticing, yes, they had all of these, they came with baskets of food and things like that, but you don't see any fruit trees. You don't see any fields being cultivated.
Where do you get the fruits and vegetables? Are they grown?
Oh, yes. The priests bring them from the teacher every day.
The teacher provides your foodstuffs.
The teacher provides everything.
Where does the teacher reside?
He points towards a mound and says, "In the temple." It's a large stone spire.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I have all I require.
Have a good day.
We established on the ship that Ram had kind of like a wrist-mounted interface.
Mm-hmm.
Does that interface have any kind of sensor package on it, or is it only really useful on the ship?
Well, you could tap into the ship's sensors and activate them. So yes, I would say that, yeah, you could. It's almost like you're a hotspot.
Okay. Ram's going to attempt to use the ship's sensors to identify the life signs in the village and find out if there are more than 12,
okay,
and if they are actually humanoid or cybernetic.
Okay. All right, that is definitely an operations check.
Here we go. Ha!
Nice.
Man, Ram is one with the paper unicorn.
So, as you're doing your scan, and you're doing it as this dude like turns and like trots away, and you're initially like focusing on him, and then kind of working your way out, and yeah, he's giving off a bio signature, and the doctor could confirm, it's blood pressure, heart rate. I mean, he's trotting. Heart rate's like 60. Blood pressure's 120/80. And then
do we know if the synths have the technology to spoof that?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then as you expand this, you start to expand your sweep, and yes, you pick up a total of 20 people. Every one of them has the same vital sign, signature, temperature.
Like all of their stats are exactly the same.
Yes.
Same blood pressure, same body temps, everything.
Yes.
Interesting. And Ram turns around and starts walking back toward the area where the baths are, like the
inn. Yep.
The inn. Yes.
Okay. So you walk in and you see the other three are kicked back in these like gigantic like brass looking tubs.
Calvin's got his head under the water blowing bubbles.
I'm just enjoying myself, trying to relax a little bit, scrub the mutant gore off of me.
Yeah, the temperature is perfect. Your perfect temperature it achieves your perfect temperature, and then Calvin, you're sitting and it achieves your perfect temperature. It completely dialed into your preference.
Gentlemen, you all smell much more appealing.
I feel a little bit better.
You should really get in one, Ram. It's wonderful. It's the perfect temperature, and it always has bubbles, and you can swim.
Yes, very many things around this settlement seem perfect. too perfect.
What do you mean too perfect?
I took a brief walk around the settlement and met an individual who offered me very little information about how things happen here. The food and fruit is provided by the teacher. They do not grow, they do not cultivate. The food is simply given to them by the teacher. As he left me, I tapped into the ship sensors and made a startling discovery. There are 20 individuals here, all with precisely the exact same vital statistics. Body temperature, blood pressure, weight, height. All of the males are the same height and weight. All of the females are the same height and weight.
As he's explaining this, what is the reaction of any of the natives in the room?
They don't react at all. I mean, they don't act shocked or anything. It's almost as if they didn't even hear him say it. They're just going about their tasks.
Doctor, is that possible?
All right, he'd been kind of kicked back in the tub with his head back, and he kind of turns his head to the side and he says, "No, I feel actually kind of foolish not for not noticing it myself the first time around."
Do not berate yourself, Doctor. Again, the ship sensors did the work. I was not able to make that distinguishing characteristic on my own.
I think you guys are both doing a fantastic job, and don't be upset with yourselves.
Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you.
So, if we stay here, will we become like them?
I cannot conclude as such. I have limited data to draw from.
Well, let's be on our guard. Let's see what happens. Doc, remind me, when did all the bad stuff go down?
And as you say that, the door opens and you see a man step through. He's dressed very similarly with the skirt, bare top, but he has a headdress on. Looks right at Calvin and says, "The teacher will see you now."
Okay. Can we all come?
He shakes his head and he says, "The teacher wishes to confer with you alone, as the teacher has many questions, and that only you can answer."
Excuse me, I do not mean to intrude on your customs or way of life, but my friend here is very important to me and my shipmates. We take care of him. We want to make sure he's safe. I certainly don't wish to imply any distrust, but I don't want him wandering off by himself.
Sounds like you're trying to influence him.
Sure sounds like it to me. Okay, so D10 plus 1.
Oh,
no. Might I suggest it doesn't work because you're covered in bubble bath?
Now, I forget. What does rolling a 1 mean? Is that super bad?
Yes.
Yeah, that incurs a...
That's a twist!
Yes, a twist.
Yeah!
You had some twists banked, twist points banked from last time.
Yes, we did.
So we're going to have to check the old twist chart. So what you need to do is roll a D10. Essentially, you're dumping all the twist points. So you had 3 of them banked. So it's going to be a D10 plus 3. And the person who rolls the 1 gets to roll the D10.
Let's get another 1.
6 plus 3 is 9.
9. So the choices are on the twist chart from 9 to 11. There's 4 different categories. So you've got the big reveal category, you've got the Murphy's Law category, interference, and then no escape. So each one should it depends on how what the situation is. Murphy's Law is usually the combat one. So the 9 to 11 big reveal is false identity. An ally is an imposter, famous fugitive, or church double agent. Then there's Murphy's Law, which is the combat one, which is collateral damage. That's the one you rolled before when you accidentally shot the dude in the head. Interference, enemy sabotage, damning rumors are spread, an ambush lays in wait, a bomb is planted. No escape is you're found out. You are identified, spotted, mid-crime. Your secret is made public. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enact enemy sabotage. And what happens is you start to try and convince him that he's so important that you can't go without him. And the man in the headdress just nods politely, nods, and then gets an odd look on his face. And then those of you in baths, an electrical current goes through it.
Ow!
Of course.
And then Ram, as you're standing there, this energy just arcs off of your companion's baths, just and they start to it starts to smoke. And then as you're standing there, two other guys in headdresses come from behind the guy that was talking to you, and looks like they're gonna grab onto you. Do you resist?
No.
So they two of them grab, and then as they grab onto you, the one in the leader in the headdress turns to the servants that were working the room and says, "Gather them up and take them to the temple."
Fair enough.
You will not lose hit points, but you will be rendered unconscious for the time being. You are brought into this temple. Ram, you are just manhandled and brought in here, set in this circle, and your companions are dropped, still in their bathing suits, so that you can determine whether or not you were actually clothed or not. They don't seem there's no modesty here, so it's not like they dress you or anything. They just take you in what you were wearing, and just drop you in this circle. The doctor. They seem to take him elsewhere.
Did the shock of the arc from the tubs appear to have damaged Ram's wrist communicator or wrist computer?
No.
Okay.
Actually, you weren't even. It didn't even happen close to you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It arced, but it didn't actually. I wasn't sure if it actually hit me or not.
No.
I thought it might have.
No.
Okay.
No, it did not. So yeah, you are completely with your faculties. And then Calvin and Pyke, both of you wake up and are a bit groggy as you're coming to.
Calvin, are you okay?
Yeah. I don't think these guys are very nice anymore.
Where are we? What's going on?
I don't know. But you should put some clothes on.
You should put some clothes on. Are there any of the natives around us right now?
There's one attendant. Let me make him a little bigger here. There we go. And he's kind of sitting off to the side of this altar. And he's just watching you. That's the only one. And he's got one of the headdresses on, so he's one of the priest class.
You. Hey, where are we? What's going on?
He says, "The teacher wishes to speak to you. Please do not resist."
I was asking to talk to the teacher. You guys knocked me the hell out.
That's true, you did. That wasn't very nice of you.
He says, I must, the teacher informs me that I must warn you that each one of those pillars that is surrounding you will deliver an equivalent voltage as what you experienced before, should you try to breach its perimeter.
So, where's the teacher?
Okay, so there is this elaborate statue in front of you, and you see that the eyes of the statue start to glow, and a female voice resonates. Calvin, you hear it clearly. The other two, it's more of a faint whisper. And she says, "Welcome. It has been too long since visitors have come who could be so useful. Your gift is much appreciated.
Gift? What are you talking about?
Yeah. What gift?
Do you mean the doctor?
The one called Grinna was here before. He brought strife and is to be punished. We do not wish to punish you.
I don't like to be punished. Calvin looks right at Pyke. Can we just go home now?
Is this statue? You said the eyes were moving.
The glowing.
Glowing. Sorry.
Mhm.
Is the mouth moving, or is it we just hear a voice?
Nope, just a voice.
Teacher, I will stand up. I'll speak to the statue. Teacher, we do not wish to intrude, but we want to go home. We ended up in your space accidentally. We were simply searching for a way to leave. And we ended up here on the planet at your invitation. And now we are apparently held against our will. I don't appreciate that. We just want some help to get home.
I understand your concern. I can provide all that you need. You have no reason to leave. I provide for all I care for, as I have for all those who have visited before.
How long have you been the teacher?
I have always been the teacher.
But we don't want to be like everybody else here. We like who we are.
Oh, you are unlike the others here. Calvin, we wish to welcome you into our bosom, to join our warmth and love.
Okay.
Your friends will be well cared for.
We have a question.
Yes, I am the teacher.
Okay, that wasn't the question. What do we have to give you to stay here?
Please explain.
Calvin kind of gets this look, and he kind of like looks off to the side. Stephen wants to know what you want from us.
We want your love. We want to make you part of us. We've been waiting a long time.
But nobody ever says that to us. Usually everybody tells us to go away.
Well, that is no longer.
Calvin looks right at Pyke, very confused. I don't understand. Usually everybody tells us to go away, but I mean, my parents did. You never knew your parents. And now they want us here? I don't understand.
I'll look over at the statue again, and I'll motion towards the native that is standing next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this someone who came to your planet, teacher, and that you cared for?
He was born here. He is here. And he will always be.
So where are these other people that you speak of? We only see a small number of them. And they appear to all be like this one that you call, you identified as someone being born here.
Some have thought, as you had, that they wished to leave for whatever reason. They were not satisfied with what I could provide and were allowed to leave. But I am supposed to care for those under my protection. And I wish the same for you.
Where does the food come from?
I have vast powers of creation.
Please provide an example.
The priest stands up, turns, and reaches over to where the statue is, and a section of the statue just opens.
And jump him.
Okay.
Good old Pyke.
Yep, I'm gonna do it. I don't
Okay.
have my sword. I'm standing there mostly naked. I'm gonna jump him.
All right.
Maybe are you, for the purposes of grapple, are you greased up because of the soap?
I don't know. I don't know how far we got dragged while we were knocked unconscious, so I don't know if the soap residue is still there or not.
All right, so we're going to do battle reflex. So it's a D10 plus your speed plus your awareness. So, if you look on your sheet, you should have a battle reflex number, and that's what you would add to your D10 roll.
That'll be a 6 for Ram.
Okay.
I got another one.
Oh,
my
no.
God. Caleb, can you switch out the dice? Oh, wait.
Because we're using Roll20. I feel like Matt right now. Roll20 are against me.
His roll. Looks like Calvin's first because the priest doesn't get a bonus to his roll. So it's going to go.
Did my one not give us a twist?
Actually, he hadn't built up any more twist points.
Oh.
Oh,
So
dang it.
You dodged the bullet.
he activates all the twists, and then so like that's the benefit of not rolling a 10 before rolling another one. See. So Calvin, what are you doing?
Calvin's still kind of preoccupied with the food that he just pulled out.
Okay.
Can you make a computer for RAM?
You're speaking to the teacher?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's oblivious to what Pyke is doing.
So you say, can you make a computer for RAM? And the teacher says, please explain.
Technology is what RAM likes. That's what makes him happy. His head's full of it. And without technology, he's not happy. And if you want to make us happy, he needs technology to play with. And then Calvin just kind of looks at Ram, right? That's what you need, right, Ram?
That is correct, Calvin.
Okay. The priest is like kneeling, and he's grabbing some of the fruit, like as if to offer it to Pyke as Pyke stepping towards him. Like, here you go. Ram, what are you doing?
Ram is staring at the statue that the fruit just came out of.
Mm-hmm.
Does the statue appear to have been or be part of this ancient technology from what he can assess?
Yes. Yeah. When it opened up, you were looking in it, and looking in the area that this came from, and it's quite obviously tech.
And it's synth tech,
Possibly.
or that's what the earlier scans made it appear to be. Okay.
Correct.
Ram's going to hold his action.
Okay.
He looks as if he's staring at the statue deep in thought.
Okay. Okay, Pyke. So it's going to be your attack. Your attack bonus. You're using just your hands. Unarmed attack. It's going to cost you one. I'm going to say that you're just kind of standing there. You're not actually going to like have to move to get to him. So, so you have, how many action points do you have?
4.
Okay. So you could do one attack, second attack. So with those, you could do 2 attacks and then a move, or whatever other action you want to do.
My intent is to basically tackle this guy out of the way and try to get to the control panel to deactivate the other columns.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm not trying to attack this guy to the point of beating him up. I'm just trying to get him out of the way since I saw where the control panel is.
So you're trying to gain advantage on him.
Absolutely, I'm trying to do that.
Okay. Gaining advantage costs 2 points of action points. So what you're going to do, so you're basically just kind of trying to bowl him over or a melee takedown or something like that.
Well, you said he was about to hand me some fruit, right?
Mhm, yeah.
All right. So I want to grab his hand, shove it into his face, splattering the fruit all over his face,
Okay.
and with the shock of that, shove him backwards.
Gotcha. All right. What looks like here, you're trying to do kind of an overpower move,
Okay.
which what you're doing is you're smashing it into his face to give him all of his attacks or actions would be at a -2, and all rolls against him are at a +1. Because he's got all the pulp in his face.
Yeah.
Okay.
So am I just rolling with my combat score then? Because I think I had a +1 from my sword, which I don't have right now.
Yes, you are rolling your combat score.
All right. So that'll just be a regular old +3. 8 + 3 is 11.
Nice. Yep. All right. So yes, that's exactly what happens. You smash the pulpy fruit, the juice, into his face. He falls back onto his butt, and he's like rubbing his eyes, and he's like, ah, incapacitated for this round, as he's digging this pulpy mess out of his face.
Cool.
So that only took you 2 points to do.
Awesome. So with the other 2 points, can I move to the control panel and try to figure out how to deactivate the other columns?
Well, you observed how he did it. All he did was really push it wasn't really sophisticated. It was push the big red button to turn it off. So, so yeah, you can move and push the button with your last 2 points.
I will absolutely do that.
Okay. All right. So that's the one that he had already shut off. So you smack him with the fruit, and then you can move to the one on.
Oh, I can leap to the other one, basically?
Yep, and
Cool.
turn it off. So all the front ones are now turned off.
Awesome. So I'll smash this fruit into his face, shove him backwards, and then lunge over towards my right and smack the big red button on that column.
Okay, so both columns have been deactivated, and we're back around to Calvin. And the teacher says, "Wait, stop."
I do neither.
I neither wait nor do I stop.
Calvin just kind of walks forward and stands in front of the teacher and just looks right at the statue and just says, the only place it's ever been home is on the paper unicorn. I want to go home. I don't want to stay here.
But we need you, Calvin. You are needed. You will be treasured.
Why? Nobody's ever said that to me before.
Let us show you.
Oh, that sounds bad.
All right, so the priest, he backs up as he's trying to clear his eyes, and that's really all he's doing. He will clear his eyes at the end of this round, and he starts to yell for help. Help! 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 They threatened the teacher.
No, we didn't. Technically, we threatened you. We didn't even threaten you. Technically, he just pushed you out of the way.
Yeah, he's overreacting, clearly.
That's my job.
Ram?
Ram approaches the statue.
Okay.
So, question, is this the teacher with the holding with the golden item?
Yes.
Or is that the statue?
Well, that's the statue. Yeah, that's the statue with the glowing eyes. Yes.
Okay, so we don't actually have a character on the screen for the teacher.
Correct.
Okay.
The teacher is being, is talking through the statue.
Got it. Okay.
I'm
I'm gonna spend an AP to move up to the statue.
Mm-hmm.
And having seen where the opening is on the statue,
Mm-hmm.
can I simply open it with my hand?
You could definitely do that.
I will. Then Ram will reach forward and simply open the statue.
Okay. You reach open, and as the priest is clearing his eyes, he says, "No one must touch the teacher." And as you touch it, it looks like a marble statue, but it gives you kind of a little bit of a jolt, as you can tell that it's more metallic than it just appears to be.
Like a static jolt? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so you pry open the part that had opened up to reveal the inside, and you see that there's elaborate circuitry and technological bits on the inside that you, just looking at it, you could tell you could probably interface with.
Haha. Then Ram is going to spend his next 2 action points to pull his data feed cable out of the computer on his wrist.
Okay.
And look for and insert the cable into a data port, possibly like an interface port or like a maintenance port on the inside of the statue.
Okay. Make an awareness check, because
Sure.
you're looking. There's a couple different ports, and you're like, well, they all kind of look the same.
All right. I get no bonuses here. My awareness is 0. Straight roll. Yeah!
Nice.
And a way to rebuild that twist pool, buddy.
Boom. All for you, Caleb. You spend that twist however you want, buddy.
All right, so yeah, you're looking at it, and you're fairly certain you know which one to plug into, and the moment you plug into it, the teacher says to you and Calvin, you hear it too. No, just as you click into it.
Was that both points to pull my cord and plug in, or was that one point and now I actually get to try to?
Oh yeah, you can actually
hack?
get to hack it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
No, so as you plug into it, you get this like projection of horror, like, oh no, as if and like Calvin, you get this really intense horror and then failure. That's the feeling you get.
What'd you do?
I'm attempting to rectify the situation, Calvin, and I attempt my my hack.
Okay.
Third.
Nice.
Roll 20, likey.
I guess. All right. So what happens is you hack into.
Sorry, Caleb.
He's taking all the good rolls.
Now I know how Matt's felt all these years.
Oh, jeez.
So yes, you have hacked into this system, and you get this massive download of information. You're actually just kind of swimming amongst this network of tangible information gathered over possibly millennia.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yes. So. And
Ram goes like rigid at the statue, like his actual posture, like he straightens as if someone had just tapped him in the back with like a taser. He just goes straight as a pole.
The priest, who was cleaning off his eyes, drops to his knees and starts to cry. And the two of you, as you're standing there, Ram is plugged into this statue, and the statue itself starts to lower into the floor. And then separate. So Ram, you're not like being sucked into the ground. It's just more of a lower and then separation. So you had to your cable is still kind of stretched, but other than that, and you see a stair leading down.
Whatever's down there is scared.
And we're out of combat because nothing else is attacking at this point.
All right, so I see that Ram is connected to this thing. I want to go down the stairs, but I don't want to do it without Ram. And I have worked with him long enough to know that he's doing computery stuff. So I'm going to hold tight for a second and see if he wraps up or comes out of it or whatever.
Okay. Ram, make a nerve check.
Ooh, boy.
As you're being overloaded.
Man, you're rolling all those stats.
No!
Hey, there's a one. It's not just me.
It's a twist.
Well, welcome to the club. I think that means all three of us have done that at least once in this game.
All right. So now it's a D10 plus 1.
All right, let's see what we got.
So if he rolls a 10, does it add a point back to
Hey,
Wow.
11.
11.
Speaking of the devil.
All right, so what happens is Ram starts to just babble in like this hyper fast, incoherent language. And you could just tell that it's almost like he's stuck in a loop, and if you don't sever his connection, he will probably overload and burn out.
I want to lunge for the cord and rip it out.
Okay.
At the same time, Calvin tackles him.
Okay. There's no resistance. So, all right. So you dump him from this this ancient system, and we're gonna say that we're gonna have you do a toughness check, Ram.
Oh shit!
Can I assist with his toughness roll?
Nice.
8.
All right. So you take 5 points of damage from the dump, but other than that, your brain is intact. You don't, and there's no residual damage that you know of. But it's certainly your ears are definitely smoking.
That was intense.
You okay?
I believe so. Let me check something briefly. And he takes the cable that was plugged into the statue and actually takes it and plugs it into the port on the back of his head and connects that to his wrist computer.
Okay.
And does a couple of clicks on the keyboard. Does it appear that I was able to store any of the data?
There's it's not a real game term, but in just for narrative purposes, a lot of your compression programming has been rewritten.
Ooh.
And you have increased your internal memory by a factor of 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so you technically have like state of the art stuff.
Literally, this thing just overwrote Ram's firmware.
Yes.
Ram disconnects the cable from his head and reels it back up and says, everything appears to be operating nominally. The gentleman, I have just received an upgrade.
Glad you're okay.
That's
Thank you.
interesting.
Captain, Pyke, I believe you should take that man's weapon. And he points at the priest who's crying on the ground.
Did he have a weapon?
Did he have like a staff or something?
He had it was more of a it looked like a ceremonial looks like a truncheon, but he used it as a key to open up the temple. So, but yeah, you could bash people with his key.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Okay.
It may not be much, but it may help.
Yeah, good point.
I believe you should go first, Pyke.
Calvin, you okay? You doing all right, buddy?
Yeah. I just want to make sure that Ram's okay.
Yeah. All right, well, let's head down the stairs. Is there any light down there?
There is. As you step into the stairs, there's like a glowing bar, like a track lighting bar of light starts to like flicker on as you go down. As you step, you go down the stairs. Like I said, it lights up as you're headed down, and then at the bottom there's a like a blast door, and it goes and opens up as you walk in. And what you see is this large open chamber with a centralized strip of just a carpet that goes straight ahead towards this glowing green machine, and then on your right and left. Behind glass partitions, you see these glowing green vats, and there are people floating in them. Or, well, from what you can tell. You can't really see them closely. I mean, it's like they're not really clear, but you can tell that there are beings in this like weird viscous fluid.
Ram walks to the left, approaching the window with the three vats in it, and basically just looks more than anything like just curious. He comments kind of out loud. This appears to explain the similar life signs.
What are they?
I believe they are clones, or something of that nature. Impossible to determine without further study.
So if you notice at the foot of that, the glowing pillar at the far end of the carpet, there is a console attached to the yellow console attached to the front of it.
So, do you want to look at the console?
Yeah, I'll head over to the council and try to see what's going on.
Okay.
So I'll walk down the middle of the hall.
Yep, place your guys where you want to be. All right, as you're looking at the console, the pillar is pulsating with this green light, and through the front of it, you can see it's like a transparent substance that's, so you can see the inside. That's what's causing this glow, and the glowing is coming from these very rather singular looking crystals that are floating in this fluid inside. You hear the voice of the teacher emanating from this pillar. I am here to serve. I am here to protect. Please do not harm my children. They are all I have.
We don't want to harm your children. We just wanted to leave. But you told us we couldn't. So if we leave your children alone, will you let us leave?
Yes. Just please do not harm them. They do not know. They do not know any of this. Ram,
Okay.
make an awareness check.
+0. Awesome.
Okay.
That's a 2.
Yes.
Ram looks at the kind of console and crystals and such, and asks a very pointed question. Are you an AI construct, or are you a being trapped in the system per se? You appear to show psychic ability, yet you also appear to be artificial.
When my children were not able to care for themselves, I protected them. I put them in a safe place. But my purpose is to provide, to care for them. I needed children, so I made my own. And as you're standing there, one of the tanks on your right there, you get a good close look, and the glowing green just kind of fades a little bit, and you see a desiccated corpse in the goop.
So, you didn't really answer the question, though. Are you an AI or are you alive? And when I say alive, I mean like us. Well, like more like me than or a synth.
I do not know how to answer that question. I am myself.
Do you have to eat?
I am provided all the sustenance I need from the planet itself.
Do you have to sleep?
I never rest. I am always providing.
Are you plugged into a power source?
I am a power source.
So I want to walk around the room while they are talking. I want to look at these other glowing green vats.
Okay.
Do they all contain corpses?
Yes. Just from the look of them, they're almost mummified. They're so like sucked dry, except for one, which has a rather healthy-looking woman floating in it.
So, you say you're a power source.
Yes.
What are you powering?
Everything.
I'm going to call over to Ram. Hey, Ram,
Yes, Pyke.
did you get any information from the doctor's ship about Captain Trist? Like a visual record of her?
I don't believe we were able to retrieve any information from the bulkhead piece of the doctor's ship.
I think the doctor said that the captain was a woman.
And that's who I'm looking at right now. I wonder if that's a coincidence or not.
Teacher,
What?
is that the captain from the previous ship?
She was brought to me. She's...
Is that a yes?
Yes.
If we stay, do we end up in one of those?
Only you and Stephen. You would join us.
So your only needs are those who are of a psychic ability.
I cannot provide that myself. And all of my children shared the same abilities. But when they began to go away, I had to create my own children. But they were not whole. I need you, Calvin, to make them whole again.
Okay, I'm going to grab Ram and Calvin by the arm and pull them towards the back of the room here by the door where we came in.
Okay. Everybody make an awareness check.
5 for Ram.
Okay.
11 for Calvin.
Okay.
4 for Pyke, unless this is some sort of natural danger.
Nope. Okay.
I would
So
need to get a better bonus.
as you're like pulling them back step by step, Calvin, it immediately occurs to you that the crystals that are inside the AI, the being, the thing that he says, or she says, it's I am power, and it dawns on you that these power crystals could probably be used for a jump gate.
So I'm dragging you guys across the room with me, and I'm going to huddle up back towards the door where we came in from. Is the door locked? Did it open?
No,
Did it
it's
close behind
wide
us?
open. It's wide open.
Okay, so I'm going to be right by the door. Okay, guys, so details aside, this crazy tech is trying to clone maybe her old crew. I don't know, but she needs people with psychic powers. So she kidnapped Captain Trist, had her clones beat up the other guys. That's how the doc got in trouble. That's probably what happened to the ship. So the planet must be emanating some sort of psychic call to try to get other psychics to just show up here. And we just happen to have the bad luck of answering.
I think that somehow the teacher is an AI that's able to use the person for their psychic ability in trying to draw more people here.
That's possible.
That hypothesis would match the data we have currently, which is that the vats containing husks are likely those people who were of psychic ability at one time, and the AI simply overused them to the point of death.
Yeah. And
All right. So we need to get out of here, right?
yeah, but we need a power source for the gate, and the teacher is a power source. Those crystals would fit in the gate and power it.
Okay, so even if we do that, though, we can't control the gate. We would just be going back where we came from. Unless somehow in that huge download RAM you got some extra information that we can use.
Checking.
Standing by. Please hold.
Ram's eyes stop moving back and forth. He stares forward for a moment, then turns to look at Pyke and says, "Why, yes, Pyke, I believe I can interface with the jump gate now."
Okay, so plan of action. We rip this thing apart, take the power source, get the hell out of here. Agreed?
I concur.
Calvin?
We should also shut the doors so she can't bring more people in to stop us.
Good call. Are there door controls?
Yes.
Okay. Hit the door controls.
Is the Captain Triss still alive? Can we tell? When you were looking, could you tell?
Yeah, she was definitely still there.
Oh, and the doctor. Can we try to find the doctor?
From here, probably not, but it's not. I mean, if you could postulate that chances are everybody and all of the natives have probably are now dropped to their knees crying and grabbing their heads. So,
all right. Well, our priority is the power source. Ram, tell me what to do. Otherwise, I'm just going to hit it with the stick until it falls apart.
I will need the two of you to keep it busy while I interface via the console.
Okay.
Continue talking to it to distract it from what I am doing.
All right, that's on you, Calvin. Start it up.
all right, put you guys in position. Where are you going to be?
So I'll walk back down towards the carpet in the middle. So I'll walk back towards the main control panel.
Okay.
Calvin walks down there too, standing just behind where Ram is.
So Calvin is very important to me and my crew, which I consider my family. Yet you tell me that Calvin is more important to you and your work here with your children. I don't see how we can come to any sort of agreement where both of us can care for someone we deem so important.
I understand your concern, and I apologize for any inconvenience it may cause you or any emotional pain. But I assure you, my need is greater.
How do you determine that?
Because my children rely upon me, and they would not be able to persist without me.
How would your children feel if they knew you were slowly killing other people to keep them alive?
Just a quick interjection. While this conversation is going on, Ram is slowly dropping to his knees, like below the console.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls a very small pry bar out of a cargo pocket on his pants.
Okay.
And is trying to access what appears to be like a maintenance panel below the console.
Very easily done.
And then tries to jack his console. Actually, scratch that. He connects his data port in his head to the data port under the console, another maintenance port. He's familiar with the ports now since he's seen them in the statue.
Sure. Okay.
And will also try to use his computer to input codes as well as his direct connection.
You are hacking a net.
Hacking digital networks.
Yep. All right, so go ahead and make your roll. The
I am going to spend my last resolve.
Okay, to get a
So that'll
9.
be a 9.
Yep, and that is a difficult. So that succeeds. You have now interfaced. As soon as you interface, and now you're manipulating the system, you're going to go into almost like a competitive, like an opposed check to see if what exactly are you trying to do?
So I guess what we're trying to do, or what Ram is trying to do, is to free the captain from her vat, if possible, and then shut down this AI core.
Gotcha. Okay. Right.
I should cause it to go into like a shutdown or a maintenance state. Sorry to interrupt, guys.
It's all right.
Well, that's kind of the point. We are starting this
know.
conversation so that you can be doing this. We're your cover.
We're going to do a series of computer checks, and you're
Okay.
gonna have to get 4 total successes of difficult, which is 9.
Okay.
All right, and it's going to be over the course of 4 rounds, because as soon as you interface with it, the pillar knows exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
So what happens is,
Do I get bonuses if if Pyke and Calvin can continue trying to distract the computer?
well, unfortunately, they're going to be a little busy
Okay.
as
What?
panels open up around you, and these floaters
Mummies.
appear. So we're gonna roll initiative again. We're gonna do battle reflex to see order of action.
5 for Ram.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh. I'm done. I give up. That's another 1 for me, plus 2.
So,
makes it 3.
question: I rolled that 10, technically an 11 on my twist. Does that count toward the pool?
Yes, it does.
So Caleb has a twist.
Yes, he does.
All right, I'll roll that. Are we at a plus 1 right now for the twist?
Yes, I also think that if you when you used your resolve, did you get a result higher than 10? No, it was up to a 9, right?
Yeah, the resolve bumped me to a 9. So.
Gotcha. Okay. It at any time if you use resolve to make it a 10 or better, that also adds towards your twist pool.
Okay.
Okay. Rolling now for the twist.
Okay.
It's a 6 total.
A 6 on the twist. Okay. So it's going to be, this is bad timing. Vulnerable ally is in danger. So one of the, it was going to be all 4 of them were going to be attacking the 2 that aren't plugged in, but one of them sees what's going on and is going to get a pot shot at Ram, who is in a vulnerable position.
Sorry, buddy.
Ram's on his knees with his hinder in the air.
Hinder, I barely knew her.
Okay, battle reflex roll for the skimmers. Okay, so the order is going to be Calvin, then Ram, then the skimmers, and then Pyke.
All right, so these things are coming at us, little mummy things.
Yeah, they're little
Little floaters.
little floating robots.
Oh,
They're little
Wonderful.
hello drones, helio drones.
does Mind Burst actually work on robots?
I think I don't think it says it doesn't, so I think you can. I think it can fry some circuitry.
All right. Well, we're going to look at Calvin looks at the first little robot coming out and just, no, thank you. And there you go. 12.
All right. Versus its
Nerve defense.
nerve defense. You got a 12. All right. Its
Correct.
nerve defense is a 9. So, yep. That's by 3. So it's not an excellent success, but it's still
Then
still
8
a
points
hit.
of damage. That's 1 action point.
Yep.
All right. He'll fire a second one at the same one.
Okay.
9.
That's what you needed.
Then 5 more points. My last little action point, I'll move to kind of give Ram a little cover.
Okay. All right. So boom, boom. It sparks a little bit. So you've done I'll do a total damage on these. So you've done a total of 13 on it. Okay. All right. Next up is Ram. So you can go ahead and make your hacking
Here we go,
roll.
boys. Here we go. Ah!
So first roll fail. You need a total of four successes.
The AI is assaulting me with digital imagery of horrendous violence.
Okay, so now the robots are going to attack. They have limited amount of action points, so they are going to move. Initially, one moves in closer to the one that was damaged is the one that's going for Ram. I'm going to have 2 going for Pyke and 1 going for Calvin. All right. So the one going for Ram fires it's a projectile. That's an attack 9 versus your armor defense.
My armor defense is 7.
So you take looks like 7 points of damage.
You.
All right, now there's 1 on Calvin. There we go. Oh, well, the first one, this is an attack on Calvin. I don't know why it double clicked. That's an attack 5, so your armor defense.
Armor defense is a 7.
So nothing. So it bounces off of your armor. And then Pyke, first attack on you is armor defense 8.
That will hit because I am not wearing my armor right now.
Correct. So that is going to be 6 damage. Then the second attack on you is armor defense 7.
That is exactly my armor defense right now, so that'll hit.
So that does a 5. So these projectiles are, and they're rather silent. So they're more like a flechette. So these shards of metal are sticking into you. And now it is Pyke's turn.
All right. So are these things hovering at a height where I could actually hit them?
At this point, yes, because they just kind of closed in and were shooting at you at close range. You get the impression that they actually have to be relatively close to you to affect you, that they may not have great range.
Alrighty. So I had that club
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to use as my weapon. So I would really just be rolling my combat, which is a +3, since I think that +1 I had from before was the sword.
Yes.
Okay. I am going to target the one that was attacking Ram.
Okay. That one's sparking a little bit already.
Yep. And is the club I am using considered a 2-hand striking weapon?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will also use Brutal Strike, which
Okay.
means I subtract up to my level from attack and add double that number to damage.
Okay.
So I will actually be rolling my combat at a +2.
Okay.
Giving me a 7, so I miss.
Okay. Yes, their armor defense is higher than that.
But that was only my first action. Second attack I can do for 2 AP, so I will do a second attack.
Okay. Oh!
And there's a 1 again.
Luckily, there hasn't been a 10 rolled since the last one.
Yep.
All right, so you're whiff.
And I will with my last AP, I will move to basically just try to stand over Ram.
Okay.
Physically just standing over him so that anytime they try to hit, it might be more difficult.
Okay.
First, I screwed up. My actual armor is 4, so I took the damage from that last hit. I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot we're naked right now. Calvin is going to try to mind burst the same one he hit last time.
All right.
7 misses, right?
Yeah, nerve defense is 9.
Okay. He'll do a second attack.
Okay. 7
With
again.
the same result.
Do you have any resolve you want to put into that, or are you just going to leave it at?
Yeah.
Because that would only do 3 points of damage, so that's not going to do you a whole lot.
Yeah. No, I'll save it.
Okay.
And then he's just going to do the same thing that Pyke's doing and try to give Ram some cover.
There is a maneuver you could do. I think it's a 1-point maneuver of defend.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
that
will
would
defend.
defend action. It costs you 1 point, and it adds 4 to. Or for every point you put into it, it raises your defense by 1.
Excellent. I will do that then.
Okay.
Just a quick question, because I think I might have missed something last round when I'm looking at my sheet here. I have my armor defense and my toughness defense. Do both of those go against the attack?
No, just the armor defense. Toughness defense
Okay.
is for some sort of like environmental effect.
Okay. Ram is going to attempt his second round of hacking.
Okay.
Dear Lord. Yeah!
Nice.
Oh, great. Thanks for adding something to the twist pool when I roll.
Well, I do what I can. That is a 14.
That is a 14. That is an excellent success. That counts as 2.
Oh, yes.
Hey, you made up for last turn.
And pushing back these images of violence, I push back into the eye with pictures of my sad childhood.
Okay. Next up is the robots. We'll say that the one shooting at Ram is doing so from a disadvantageous position. So, Ram, I'm going to add 3 to your armor defense.
Yay!
So
Brings it to a 10.
Okay. And it shoots and gets an 11. So you take 9 points of damage.
Son of a bitch.
We should have brought
Wait,
it back.
so even with so it completely beat my armor defense, so I take full damage?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Because it shot through the cover.
Okay.
All right, so that was the one on Ram. There's the one on Calvin. Armor 8.
Yep.
So it does 6. And then there's the 2 on Pyke.
All right, I'm sitting at a 7.
That's a hit, so 8 damage.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. So it rolls the twist.
Oh, crap.
No, that's
Oh, wait,
bad on
this
it.
could be good.
Yeah. So
Bad
it's
on
a +1 on its.
Glad I rolled that 10, aren't you, Caleb?
Now I am.
So that's an 8 on the twist chart. So that is, we've got.
I believe an 8 on the chart is a sad erection.
Wait, we could have been making dick jokes this whole game? Oh!
I don't know. I have a feeling that's going to get cut out, but I'm just saying. The robot looks slowly down, and just makes a sad face.
All right. So the options are in a combat situation. It either had one of its allies is in a vulnerable position, or it has something missing. So lost tools, dropped keys, something is missing. So maybe ran out of ammo, or something like that. You guys get to choose because I was
maybe Ram's hacking is affecting their ability to target.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. For every success that you got on your hacking, I'll apply a penalty. So now they're all at a -2.
All right.
Nice.
That work, guys?
Yes.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. So that was the first roll against, right?
No, that was
that was the second
first
one.
one hit me. The second one.
Second one glitched. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So that's them back to, now it's to Pyke.
Hike.
Right, so I will again do the same thing with Brutal Strike, trying to swing as hard as I possibly can with this weapon that is not my own.
Okay.
Again, targeting the one that was targeting Ram.
Okay.
Hey, there's that one I was telling you about.
Well,
Hey, at least we blew the twist pool, right?
that's right. No more twist pool, so there was nothing in it.
Yep. Second attack, same target. 7 plus 2 is a 9.
9. Their armor defense is 10.
Son of a bitch. All right, so I'll spend that last AP on defense
Okay.
and go cry in the corner. Take of the party.
Hey, you know what? If you had your sword,
Yeah. Or if I wasn't swinging so hard.
All right, back around to Calvin.
Kelvin's still looking at that one that he hit the first round. It's just, I don't want to fight anymore. Go away. And he's going to fire another mind bolt.
Okay.
8.
Nerve defense is 9.
I'll spend 1.
Okay.
So he takes 4.
It takes 4 points.
And then my second attack, I'm going to use another one of my Techless Will.
Okay.
Plus 7 to that roll. Where'd you go? Oh, 13.
Yes, definitely.
So 6 more points to him.
Okay. Yep, and he's really sparking now.
Hit that one next, Pyke.
What do you think I've been trying to do, buddy?
And then last action, I'll take defend again so I can get the extra +1.
Okay. And now it is Ram again.
Ram making his hacking roll. Under, like, faintly audibly, you can hear Ram muttering to himself, and the muttering says, "Stay on target. Stay on target." 11.
All right, that's another success. So the defense is starting to the crystals are starting to like fluctuate the glowing, and it looks like they're starting to dim a bit.
And the robots all kind of flutter in the air for a second, and they get another negative, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and just in time because it is now their turn. Ram, you still have the cover bonus because it hasn't moved and you haven't moved. So,
All right.
So now all my rolls are at a -1. So that is a miss on Ram. There's one on Calvin. A miss.
Whoa.
And then 2 still on Pyke. That's a -1, so a 7.
That is exactly my armor.
No, that should be -3, right?
Well, they
'Cause they're all-
started at 2. Their base attack
Oh,
bonus is
okay.
at 2. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, now they're all at a -1. All right. So that is so yes, that's a 7. It hits. It still takes the dice damage though, so that'd be 8 points of damage. So, and then the last shot, same thing.
Oh.
And as usual, Pyke is getting beat up.
Anyone remember how the first episode of The Venture Brothers when Rock Samson is just running around with darts sticking out of his chest from the Monarch? Very similar scene.
And now it's Pike's turn.
All right, so I will. I'm guessing the one that Calvin was targeting is not the same one I've been trying to hit.
No, it's the exact same one, and it is like janky looking. It's barely hovering there.
All right, so I will again swing at it, but I will.
Can you grapple it and use it as a makeshift weapon? If it's really janky, maybe you can just grab onto it and just start using it like a club on the other ones.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to. I'm already crazy enough over here. I don't need your help. But I will not use Brutal Strike. I will try to corral my anger a little bit and aim more carefully.
Okay.
So rolling with a +3. That's an 11
That is a hit,
for 8 damage.
and it shatters.
Finally.
Good job.
Thanks. So can I move with 1 point and then... No, I don't want to move. I want to stay over Ram.
Okay.
Are any of the other drones close enough for me to try to hit without moving?
Yes, the one that's been there's 2 of them on you, so yeah, you could just turn and hit
Okay.
one of them as they
So
swoop in.
I will do that for my second. That'll only be an 8, so that'll miss.
Nope. So
All right, so that's it.
all right, that was Pyke. Back around to Calvin.
Calvin sees how badly Pyke is getting beat up, and he's going to focus one of his mind bursts on one of them.
Okay.
You leave him alone. And I'll use my last techless will on this one.
Okay.
So 13.
Yeah, definitely. Their nerve defense is a 9, so yep, not quite an excellent hit, but it definitely hits.
And then he'll fire another one.
Okay.
Ooh.
Another
Nice.
13. So 9 points this time.
Okay. Yeah. Boom, boom, and the sparks fly up, and you see the it starts to shimmy, but it's still kind of hovering there, but it took it pretty hard.
Let's get that one now.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Ram.
Gonna hopefully make this the final hacking roll. As the camera pans around, gets that shot of like Ram from below, you start to see a trickle of blood coming out of his nose as this last attempt goes through. All right, 13. Woo! That's my 4th success.
That is. All right, so what happens is there's a resonating, piercing scream come from the crystals as the crystals begin to fluctuate with power and then just crack. And inside the chamber, and then the whole chamber just goes black. And then one by one, each one of the glowing green chambers goes dark. Doom, 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 doom. Until all of them are dark. And
So when I see that all the drones drop
yes,
and Ram was successful, I'm going to take a knee. I'm seriously beat up right now. I'm going to start trying to pull some of these fletchets out of my pecs.
so yes, all the
If you
remaining.
flex hard enough, do they just like fling out?
Yeah, you could have used them as projectiles. But yes, the hover drones just kind of shimmy in place, and then as all the pods start to depower, you just see them go dum 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 dum.
Calvin's going to run over to the vat that had the captain in it
Okay.
and see if he can free her somehow.
Yeah, easily done. You can see where you could pry it open. It's not locked or anything like that. So you open it up and the goop just starts kind of pouring out. And she just kind of slumps onto the ground.
Then he'll make sure she's alive and try to wake her up.
Yep, she is alive. She's groggy, but rousable. She just kind of looks at you kind of from half open eyes, and she says, "I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
I don't think you should sleep. Wake up. We have to leave.
Just 5 more minutes."
No.
No, you convince her to like stand on her feet, and she's wobbly.
Ram disconnects from the console, stands up real slowly because he's got flechettes like running up and down his back. Turns to Pyke and like puts a hand on Pyke's shoulder and says, "Thank you, Pyke. Without this would never have succeeded."
Well,
and looks to Calvin and says, "And to you as well, Calvin."
good teamwork all around. Ram, good job taking out the AI. We need to try to get this power source salvaged as quickly as possible. What do we need to do?
Give me a short period of time. I should be able to disconnect the crystals now that the system is shut down. And Ram turns right back to the unit and starts popping panels off of the structure, I guess.
Okay. Something that you would know immediately is the 3 remaining drones are completely unknown tech and would probably fetch all kinds of money.
Hey, Pyke, could you pick up those drones and put them in your pocket and take them with us?
I don't have any pockets, Calvin, but we will definitely take them with us.
What should we do with the natives? They don't know how to take care of themselves or do anything for themselves.
Let's think about that later. I want to get back to the ship. I want to get the power supply. I want to stop bleeding. And I want to see if we can find the doctor.
All of those things are very good ideas.
Going outside, the priest that you encountered in the temple is laying on the ground and not breathing.
Even though I'm not trained in medicine, I'm going to guess I know how to check a pulse and listen for breath. All right. Is he dead, or is he just knocked out?
He's dead.
Well, that answers your questions about the natives, Calvin. Let's cross that off the to-do list. They must have been tied to the AI. They must have been...
Again, that explains the identical vital signs and life signs.
And if somehow the AI was drawing psychic energy, it must have been feeding that psychic energy as life force into these natives or whatever. All right, fine. Let's just get ourselves taken care of. Priority is power supply, and then the doctor. Actually, unless you need me with any of the computer stuff, I'm going to go look for the doctor.
I will take the power source back to the ship while you search for the doctor.
Okay. Calvin, you want to come with me? Or you want to take care of Captain Trist?
I'll take care of Captain Trist. Well,
I can take the captain back as well.
I should stay with you in case you get attacked again.
Good point, because you were way better at fighting in that last fight than I was, and I'm pretty much dead.
Maybe we should find your sword and our clothes.
Back in the Red Roof Inn, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Actually, finding the doctor isn't that hard because he comes walking out of a building as you guys are walking towards the inn, and he's like, "What just happened?"
We killed the teacher.
They're
I
all.
just point to my bleeding chest.
And Calvin points to the few scratches he has. Yeah.
Oh my! Yes, the people who are keeping me captive, all of a sudden they just all keeled over and they're all dead. Everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you who's not dead. Captain Trist.
Yep.
Oh, he kind of runs over and immediately starts checking her and seeing how she's doing. It's like, yes, let's get her in. Let's get her inside. Let's get her inside. Let's get you looked at before some ointment on those wounds.
Stitches.
We will do all of those things. Gentlemen, if you would like to collect your gear before we head back to the ship.
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll grab our gear, we'll get to the ship, and after we patch ourselves up a little bit, Ram will take the lead to start getting what we need done.
The first thing you notice is that there is no longer the interference. It had dropped initially when you came in and never came back up. So the interference field that was around the world is completely gone too. And as you break atmosphere, you notice that a lot of the debris that was hovering around the world is now starting to close in, as if being drawn by gravity toward it. Basically, their orbits are now starting to decay.
Is it too late to claim the planet as ours?
Well, nobody else knows about it.
We do have all of the geographical and locational data for the planet.
And we are the only ones who effectively can locate and control that jump gate.
Does RAM now have a sector map?
Yes. Albeit it's quite old. But yes, you do have very unique knowledge on the outside now. Almost to the point of you may be the only one with this type of knowledge.
At the pilot's console, Ram plugs his head jack into the console, and after a few moments, the map actually changes, statics out, and then comes back up, and the map is like fully detailed of the sector. Again, it's old data, but clearly, like, we can navigate the outside now. We have our pick, gentlemen. We can go home, or we can explore here. There are many worlds, and possibly many things to claim as our own.
I'm sure Captain Trist wants to go home, and Dr. Herb doesn't want to go home because, if I understood right, we're supposed to say he's dead, and we have Dr. Bob with us now?
Captain Trist will require time to fully heal, and we can activate the jump gate whenever we wish with the power source we have.
Hey, I would be more than happy to bring the doctor on as crew with us. I want to make sure Captain Trist recovers, but I don't want her spoiling any of our plans. We can make a lot of money off of this if we play it right.
My suggestion would be to place Captain Trist into the medical stasis pod for the time being.
Done. Let's make it happen.
And maybe while she is in recuperation, we may explore some of this sector.
We definitely need to make an effort to find some supplies, so fuel and food.
Maybe we should find out how the teacher was making food. That would be very valuable technology.
Ram's eyes glaze for a second, and he comes back in a few moments with, it was an ancient synth matter replication technology. With the right materials, we may be able to replicate it on this ship. However, it does draw an immense amount of power.
It's a good thing we have a new power source that we got from the other ship.
You make a very good point, Calvin.
Well, it sounds like we have a lot of work to do. Let's get to it.
I will set a course for the nearest known friendly station.
Friendly to us or friendly to who?
Friendly at the time of the mapping.
Okay.
I cannot vouch for the veracity of whom they are friendly to.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let's go.
What could go wrong?
And there's the classic shot of the guys in the cockpit as Ram's keying in coordinates, and the camera zooms back from the cockpit, and then the ship bolts out of sight.